it foggy outside. All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
Yo.
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington. And the man whose story's got stories, the hardcore icon. He's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one. The Sandman. Hack, how the hell's it going today?
Dude, it's been a sad 2 weeks in Mudville. A bad fortnight for the Phillies here.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, 9 out of 10. It's thank God we beat Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, if we would have got swept by Chicago, this place would have been jumping off the Walt Whitman Bridge.
Rob might have been in a little trouble. I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, you guys certainly. You guys were in Pittsburgh this past weekend. You guys didn't bring them any good fortune either. You two.
No, we tried. But to no avail.
Yeah.
To no avail. Yeah, we went to the game on Friday night and Saturday afternoon. Both one-run losses, just anemic offense, pretty much, and both of the games, well, throughout the whole series, honestly. But trip was fun. Stadium was awesome. PNC Park, Austin Stadium. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I've never been there. I was telling Ollie before the show. My good buddy PT lives in Pittsburgh, and it's a great city.
Yeah. So what's your review of the place? Like the nicest things you like? Give it a review. If you're going to go to a stadium, you want to go to there because it's cool. Because of why?
Well, the view is definitely awesome. And just like the area around it, like you got the river, you got the bridge that you can walk right over to the stadium.
The boats.
Yeah, the boats, like people pulling up, docking their boats, like tying their boats together, tailgating before the game starts. I mean...
Yeah, literally right next to the stadium is the river, and they got boats right there, and it's like they were driving into FDR and tailgating, like on their boat.
You don't go to the game in a car and sit in traffic, dude. You just go right on the river. That's awesome.
Yeah, and they pulled...
I would love to do that.
Yeah, they had like a grill out on top of the thing, sitting next to their boat, and then there was like 3 boats like next to each other or whatever. But
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool place. I mean, not a huge city, but it's definitely worth checking out for sure.
Yeah, I've never been to Pittsburgh. I need to go. It's certainly on my bucket list, but never been there before.
Cool town, clean. It's like old school. Like we said, working town. Like it was really fun. The baseball stadium's right next to the Steelers Stadium, and
Rivers Casino, that's like right down the street from there. A bunch of bars around the area. Shout out Tequila Cowboy.
No, dear Kansas City, they finally got it passed. They're putting 2 new stadiums in there now.
No, I did not hear that. Wow,
I read that this morning.
Okay, new stadium.
The Royals and the Chiefs.
Wow. Okay. New stadiums for KC.
That's what I was reading today.
I mean, they got a great home field there for the Chiefs, so I don't know.
Yeah, them stadiums are old.
Yeah, very, very old.
Yeah.
Arrowhead is way back, so it's about time. I know that you... Oh, whoa. A little theme music here popping in.
That's a little apropos.
Doing a run in here. Doing a run in with the theme music.
Who's our producer hitting it at the wrong time?
I don't know. I'm trying.
We can always get this out.
I love it. Let it play, dude.
Well, we might get a licensing. Right. We might be under attack.
Hey, there's always going to be glitches in the business.
It went to a screensaver and it was going away, and I got rid of the screensaver, and then it started playing. So I don't know.
You guys have been watching the NBA Finals. It actually turned into a really cool series last night.
Go Pacers, baby.
Go Pacers. I mean, that was a really cool game. You got to see, both of them were going at it, and it was a really, really awesome game last night. I loved watching that game, and Pacers pulled away late and made a lot of really big shots. I thought it was a really entertaining game, and I was kind of like, wow, this is really. I know people have been down on the series, but like these two teams they're built the right way, and they have guys that play the game the right way, and they're just balling out. And it was kind of cool to see like T.J. McConnell and Caruso going at each other, like two guys that are like glue guys that like any team would want to have, and so yeah.
No, it was a really good game. It's been a pretty good series. I mean, the second game was kind of like a blowout throughout. Well, in the first game, I guess Indiana came back from a 20-point lead too, right?
Yeah.
And well, the first lead they took was Halliburton's shot with 0.3 seconds left. So
They came back for like 9 points in the last couple minutes. It had only been done like once before, or maybe not ever in an NBA final.
well, I think it's like something like they've come back from
It's
7
ridiculous.
points within the last like minute of
Yeah,
the game.
a couple
It's only
times.
happened like 4 times, and 3 of them have been them
This
just
year.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah,
stupid.
that's crazy numbers.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, now
Dude, as long as the Pacers don't turn the ball over like crazy,
Like
they're going to
stupid,
be in every
just
game.
like throwing the ball away.
I mean, they turned the ball over like 25 plus times in the one game that they won in Oklahoma City, which is insane.
In the last 3 seconds.
But I mean,
Third of a second.
dude, if they just take care of the ball, they're going to be in the game.
Yeah, and it seems like Oklahoma City's struggling to have that second scorer.
Yeah, well, they don't have their bench is getting totally outplayed. I mean, that's why Pacers are so deep, but they're supposed to be just as deep as them, but their bench ain't playing well.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And then the Stanley Cup going on, too. There's been some fantastic hockey. The first 2 games of that series going to overtime were just like exceptional hockey games. I'm not the biggest hockey guy, but around this time every year for the playoffs, and especially the Stanley
You got
Cup.
a lot of Gene Harden,
Gene Harden.
Did you get that, Ty?
I
Yeah,
get
I
it.
don't really know.
He's
I
fat.
don't really
He's
know.
fat.
Yeah.
I assumed.
Yeah.
He was the announcer for 100 years for the Flyers.
Well, yeah, wasn't his daughter Lauren Harden?
win the Stanley Cup. The
He's just-
Flyers win the Stanley Cup.
He's just trying to find a cheap fat joke to make.
Yeah, of course I am.
Yeah, of course.
If there's a hoop, I'm jumping, baby.
But it's been really good hockey, and there's game
Yeah,
4.
they have been good games. Even I'm watching them.
Game 4 tonight, as we're recording here on Thursday, should be an entertaining game as well. So, this past week we watched WWE Money in the Bank 2025 coming to you from the. How do you say the name of the stadium? It's the Clippers Arena.
The Intuit Dome.
The Intuit Dome. It's one of the most interesting arenas in sports. It's so cool, and I know the Clippers had amazing home court advantage throughout the year with that like wall that they built specifically for sound for like the away team when they're facing it, and it looks super cool. It was where they hosted the very first Raw on Netflix as well, so it was their return to this building. The other thing is they got
a Bill Belichick cheat wall in there.
They do.
Well, they have like the bleachers where the people stand up. It's kind of like it almost looks like it goes like straight up. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty steep.
Right.
Like it's not like your normal.
Yeah, you're normal, right? I got
Yeah, it's like pretty steep, and it feels like the fans are like kind of like right on top of you, and they monitor your they have like a thing like on your seat or on your phone that monitors how loud you are, and if you're not loud enough, like you won't be allowed to sit
So
there.
they got to be what?
Yeah, like they're like
Wow.
you got to be into the game and shit
So
like
they
that.
must-
Dude, everybody's seat in the stadium monitors how often you're sitting, how often you're standing up, everything like
Oh,
that.
they want you to be rowdy.
Yes,
Right, yeah.
yes, and apparently
That's good. That's
Apparently,
a great idea.
opposing teams' shooting percentages and free throw percentages were lower for that building against the Clippers this
That's
year.
a great idea.
So
dude. That's good shit.
It did actually kind of work as an advantage for them in that building, but it's one of the state-of-the-art buildings in sports.
I
and
wonder how many decibels they get.
I'm not sure about that.
You know what that like if you're standing next to a 747 engine, how many decibels is that?
I don't know.
About 120.
I love when he pop.
120 to 130, which could be deafening actually. But I know stadiums have gotten to 100 before.
Well, I know football for sure.
Yeah.
Well, dude,
I've
the
seen
Philly
100
stadium
before.
in the playoffs, they were saying could be deafening.
Yeah,
That's
And like people are getting
120,
notices on their
130.
phone about
noise.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
and like the Marshawn Lynch playoff run, like
That was
registered
wrong.
as
That
like
made
an
an
earthquake.
earthquake.
Yeah.
It registered on the seismograph.
Yeah, that was insane. But this was their second show in the area, and they also had the NXT AAA Worlds Collide show earlier in the afternoon. which was a big show for the company.
God.
Their very first partnership with AAA. You say, "Oh God, Ollie."
Yeah, just seeing the highlights from that.
Oh man, it was entertaining, dude. It was
You didn't
really,
like Mr. Iguana?
a Mr. Iguana. Guys, watch out because this guy's
That
going to be.
is so pathetic.
No, it's great, man, and he's going to be a big star. I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah.
I actually
big
haven't
star.
seen any of his work. I just saw him when they showed him here.
They are already fast tracking him to the main roster, apparently. So, because you can merchandise the guy. Have you seen anything of Mr. Iguana, Heck? We got to
No.
show you some clips of Mr. Iguana because I would love to see your reactions to this. But
I haven't seen
There's
him
so
work.
many new dudes. It's like crazy.
yeah, it's tough.
He's got an iguana puppet on his fucking arm.
and he
Oh
works.
wait, I have seen a guy with a puppet.
It's great.
Just one match.
Yeah, it's great. You would dig
How
it, I
much did you
think.
pay?
But this was the show later in the afternoon. It started off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. What did you guys think of this? This was Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer, Roxanne Perez, Naomi, Julia, and Alexa Bliss. And, I think they struggled early in this match to get me. I don't know why, but it just kind of seemed like they weren't all on the same page. They kind of were trying to tell a story of like some of the younger women in the match and some of the older stars. It's kind of like what they were trying to do a little bit, and just I don't know, something about this match for the first like 10 or so minutes of it just kind of. How long did it go, Ollie?
25.
It went long. It went really, really long, and like I don't know, some of the spots they laid out just were kind of clunky. I remember there was one point. Who was it between the ladders that was stuffed in the ladders, and they were trying to?
Rhea.
It was Rhea stuffed in, but the ladder just wasn't going, and they
Yeah,
kept.
they don't know to hit the freaking little rod thing. Yeah, just tap it with your toe and go like that.
Move on.
Don't even get me on that spot. How long she was down for? I timed
Oh,
it.
under the.
I timed it today.
How long was
Under
it?
the
I don't want to
ladders?
tell you until. Oh yeah, dude.
We were at that match.
Yeah, but anyway.
Be there?
7 minutes.
No.
Oh, no. Mommy was 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
Under the ladders.
Yeah, 5 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, it was way too. Well, that was a theme.
That was from when the last ladder got thrown on her to her actually coming up out of the ladders. 5.5 minutes.
Oh man.
And they actually did a really bad job of stacking the ladders on top.
It was
of
a
her.
joke. They
But
just
it
started
was-
sliding down.
Yeah, it was
horrible.
But it was a theme, I think, for both Money in the Bank matches, which we'll get to. Was just way too many people down, 2 people in the ring. And then when it was time for people to get on the ladder, there was a couple spots where everybody would get in, and then it would just to help climb the ladders, and then everybody would powder and be down again, and it would be one-on-one like throughout the whole entire match. And like you said, the mommy under the ladders, I was like, dude, this is pathetic. These ladders are not holding her down.
No.
Like
No.
he's like
What do you think, Hack? How much do you think a ladder weighs, honestly?
Like 5 pounds.
Yeah. Okay. So she has probably like 30 pounds on her.
They don't really weigh that much at all.
No, I know. That's why I'm at
the
like,
ones with the thicker.
About a gallon of water.
right. She has 30 pounds on her that she can't push off of her, and it's I don't know. That's what bothered me.
Yeah, there was a lot. Like
Well, the
there was a
bigger
lot-
ones are heavy. Like the one they pulled out at the end.
Oh,
yeah.
the
like the fireball ladder.
Yeah,
With the
that's-
thicker
That's
edges.
heavy duty, and it's made of that fiberglass. The other ones, you could tell they're made of lighter metal than they are the composite ones of the other one.
Right. So after Rhea came out back off all the ladders on her, she went on a big run. She took out Julia and Naomi. Then she set up a ladder on the ring ropes, and then she threw Julia in it. And then she set up another ladder in the ring. There was kind of like a bridge then at that point between the turnbuckle and the ladder. And then she went to go use it on Vaquer, who countered, and then she pulled her up onto the ladder for the Devil's Kiss knees, which was a big spot on the ladder.
Oh, with Steph and Mommy?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good spot. I gotta know for that.
That was a good spot. Then she went up on the ladder and she was touching the case, but then Roxanne Perez stopped her, and the crowd was not happy with that. They would have been fine with Stephanie Vaquer winning. Alexa Bliss then went up and she was going up the other side of the ladder, and then Roxanne Perez kind of met her at the top, and then she threw her into Naomi. And then Vaquer grabbed Perez on the ladder, and then Naomi was setting up another bridge on there. And then all the girls were climbing up and just trading punches. And then Bliss hits a code red, and then there was another code red on the ladder bridge. And then Julia
That was a nice spot.
hopped in and took out the bridge, and then they were trying to grab the briefcase. Roxanne Perez went up, and then the two of them were just trading punches. It kind of went on too long at this point. Rhea then came back in finally. She pulled Julia off, and then she hit a riptide on Julia, and then Bliss laid out Perez with his sister Abigail, and then the two of them kind of traded a look at the top
Which
of the
was
ladder.
really good.
The look-
I thought they could have milked it even a hair more, like both of them really going slow to the other side of the ladder. You know what I mean? I thought I would have even liked it if it was a hair slower.
So then
Because the crowd was there.
the crowd really was there.
Yeah, it was there. The tension was there, dude. It was great. Maybe one of the best moments of the whole night.
Right. And then Naomi came in, she ruined that. She knocked over the ladder, and then she pulled up the ladder herself. She climbed, and she unhooked to become the women's Money in the Bank winner. So,
Which I was like, what?
I kind of like it because a heel works with the gimmick best. I think for the Money in the Bank because it's kind of a heelish thing when you
Well,
catch
did you see
it
her
in.
face at the end? The whole time she was trying to have this mean face on. She wasn't like a happy girl. She was all like gnarled up.
Yeah, well, it's part of her heel turn, and I don't know. I mean,
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
yeah, she's been a heel ever since she turned on.
Oh, you can't.
She had new
to
music.
me, you
and
can't
shit,
even
which I
tell.
liked.
Yeah, I like.
You know what I mean?
I thought that she was the right booking decision to put the Money in the Bank briefcase on. Probably her or Alexa Bliss. I think I would have went with, but I like putting it on a heel. The work in this match, though, and I think we've just
Well, she ain't a heel.
Naomi's a heel.
I know, but she's not a heel.
She is.
I don't look at her like that.
She is. She's a heel. I don't know. The work in the match, I'm kind of just like over ladder matches. I think we've seen so many of them. And then to do two in a
I mean,
night.
she's better as a baby face than as a heel. I mean, she might
Naomi?
be playing a heel, but
Well, I don't think we've ever seen her as a heel. Huh?
Maybe
I
very
know,
early
that's
in
what
her
I'm
career
saying.
at some
I don't
points,
like it. I didn't like.
She's a
Well,
great-
you got to give her an opportunity.
She's a great baby face. Like,
Well,
But then you gotta
like
watch
were
more
saying,
than
they
just the
need-
pay-per-view.
They need heel girls.
they do.
That's what you were saying.
Yes.
Like they're trying to manufacture their heel girls out of babies.
It's somebody.
Like, did they do that with what's her name? The other girl with the pink hair that came out during this match?
Alexa Bliss.
No, Bailey.
Oh.
Did they make
Bailey
her
did not
heel?
come out. No, Bailey did not
I
come
know,
out
but
in this
didn't
match.
they make her heel?
Bailey's not
Yeah,
a heel. She's a
was-
face now.
Yeah, but she was a heel.
Before.
yeah.
She had
okay.
like a long
She
run
went
as
baby,
a heel.
heel, baby. Yeah.
Maybe she did something. Did she do
was
something
good as a
Monday
baby.
Came
night?
back Monday.
Okay,
to
that's
take
what
out,
I'm thinking
She
of.
took out Becky on Monday.
She was a good heel, I thought.
She
yeah.
was. She was. For this match,
She's just good.
she is really, really
Yeah.
good. For this match, though, I thought it was just okay. There was no real spots in this where I was like, this is creative, this is new, this is something different. I feel like they just did it because they had to do it and it's on the schedule to do a Money in the Bank women's ladder match.
They can be done well.
They
but
can be.
it's-
There just wasn't a lot of creativity in it in my mind. And I'm going to go 2.5 stars for it. I thought it was just pretty kind of there. Ollie?
1.
1.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, to your point, like you're saying, kind of over the ladder match. I'm not over the ladder match itself. I'm over it just being done horribly. Like, just not being good. Like, we say, like, everybody out too long or this or that. Like, figure it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be 25 minutes long, for one. And it's like, you can get, like, there can be more going on than just two people in the ring. Like, it's just, they never do it right. And I mean, like, there's no spot where you're like, oh man, like you said, like, wow, that was cool, or that was creative, or haven't seen that before. Or like, I like Naomi winning. That's probably like my favorite part of the match. I mean, like you said, I think Money in the
Wow,
Bank works
I'm
better on
surprised.
heel.
I think it does, yeah.
And I think it's
Oh,
good for
yeah,
her to
man.
get a push. I mean, how
Oh, wow,
often
yeah.
do we ever see her really in the main event picture for anything? So, yeah, but I mean, as far as the match goes, it's about a 1 for me. It was boring.
Okay. Hack, what do you give the match?
My biggest problem is there was actually times where I was like, wait a minute, who else is in this match? You don't see people. Oh yeah, she's here. I forgot about her. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's just horrifying booking. That's a 1, yeah.
A 1.
Yeah, and it's not. No, I got to give them more than that. I got to give them a 2.5, just because of the girls and the ladders and stuff like that. They're not supposed to be great at it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
No, again, to your point with the booking, Hack, I think it is
it's
booking.
they're putting a bad spot. You just booked into a bad
I
spot.
think it should have been laid out better. You have to have some creativity to go into this and to really meticulously lay out the spots and everything. And to your point, Hack, about it being like just kind of there, yeah, that's kind of how I thought about it too. Ty?
Yeah, I'm with how I want. Like, I appreciate the work, and there was a couple of good spots, but I just can't. I mean, we can speak to it till we're dead in the face. Everybody just extremely down. And there was a couple times where there's women at the top of the ladder that could easily grab the briefcase, and they're just like,
clawing at it. Just
like,
clawing at it.
their
Like,
timing
Go
was-
up one more rung.
Yeah,
That's
like-
all you have to do. Is put your foot on one more rung.
Yeah, but
Every person.
But their timing was really bad. They're like kind of you're letting the person stand up there, and somebody's late. Getting to the other side of the ladder or pulling them down. So
And every one of them looks like they're laboring to get up a ladder. Like, seriously, girls? You're going up a ladder. It's not. You're not on a tightrope going over Niagara Falls with Willinda or something like that.
What?
You know what I mean? It makes them look weak, and it makes It makes them look weak when they're like, "Oh, I can't climb a ladder."
But yeah,
But
that,
you come down and give somebody your finisher.
Yeah. You got to do a flip-diddy flop or whatever. But you can't climb a ladder fast.
yeah, that I don't know. I just
I mean, they're athletes.
I think
No, I
you
know.
can- I think nobody believes somebody's going to win a ladder match within the first 10 to 15.
so there's no need
minutes.
to even do any climbs.
Right, figure out a way to be doing spots with, like you can have like a quick, like somebody trying quick run up and then like grabbing something like that, but like Heck said, they're just laboring up there, and then you got another one, then you set up another one, and then like nobody really believes that that's a.
No,
it's difficult, but there's a way to get past it, I think.
And the Money in the Bank gimmick is, now when you're getting double up on it for these shows, it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of over Money in the Bank as a gimmick myself, but
Yeah, I don't know. Is there a way? Can you change it from? Do you go away from the ladders? I mean, what else do you do? Do you go to a scaffold? Do you go to a bomb? Do you what? What do you do?
I mean, you could have like a.
Strap matches?
something.
You could kind of do what
Can you come up
AEW.
with something before you say it's got to be
You
changed?
could kind of do what AEW does and have like a tournament.
They do a lot of
Maybe
tournaments
that's what we
too.
should do a show about. What pay-per-view should be canned?
Well, I'm not. I understand the Money in the Bank concept, and at first it was very creative. It was a new concept. It was different with the whole briefcase idea.
Just like the Hell in a Cell.
Right. It's
You
a
know
little
what I
twist
mean?
on something you already
Yeah.
had, and it was a way for a lot of guys to get on the WrestleMania card. That was why the match was first there. The first couple of Money in Banks were all on WrestleManias, and as a standalone pay-per-view, I'm like, Then they started doing two men's when they had two belts. So they would do two different men's, and now you do men's and women's, and it's like two ladder matches in one night is a lot, and I think it kind of devalues it. And you already see a lot of ladder matches. I mean, you see pretty much like one every month or 6 weeks, I feel like, in wrestling. So it's like, it's just I'm kind of over ladder matches, and it's a tough match to do anyway. But next up on the show was Dominic Mysterio taking on Octagon Jr.
This was the popcorn match.
It really was. I mean, it was set up on
I was not interested in that dude that he was working with at all.
Well, you don't know the character yet.
I know, that's my point.
Are we gonna have
It
just
was-
a bunch of like Polygon Juniors now? Like
It's Octagon.
there's
Tom-
Penta Junior, there's Octagon Junior, we're gonna
no
have
Hexa
Circle, square, rectangle.
Hexagon Junior, Dodecahedron Junior.
Alright, Ty.
You know what that is, Zach?
Octagon.
Seven side?
12-sided polygon, dodecahedron.
Wow, I can't believe you didn't know that.
No, sorry.
You seem like you're a shape guy.
Last time I did anything like
Yeah,
that
so
was
take
in,
your
like, 10th
decibel
grade.
list and shove it up your ass, mister.
This was like a last minute addition to the card because it was an angle they did off the Worlds Collide AAA show. It really wasn't much. Like you said, it was a popcorn match. Octagon did a bunch of quick moves early in the match to show off his skills a little bit.
I like
but
that little corkscrew
that was
splash
cool.
type thing that he does.
He's got some cool moves and all, but
Yeah, but everybody has those moves.
no.
Well, I
they're a
know, but
little
nobody
different.
does that
They're a little
corkscrew
different.
thing. That's-
No, everybody else will be.
Well,
All the guys in AEW were doing that shit. I
Yeah.
mean, they got so many
Yeah,
Mexican,
but they're not an
Mexican
octagon,
wrestlers
dude.
now.
He's, you know.
Mysterio did his Three Amigos.
They got
and
20 guys that can do that shit
what
in
I
AEW.
what I liked about that is he only got the one in before Octagon was able to get out of that, which I liked. And then he threw him into the ropes. He ducked a 619, and then Liv Morgan made a distraction. He hits the 619, the frog splash, quick 1, 2, 3. How long did this go, Ollie?
4 minutes,
I was going to say
55
five and
seconds.
a half.
It was like a TV match.
Dude,
I
did
mean,
you see the like totally delayed oversell when he hit the 619?
Yeah.
He like literally jumped back.
Yeah.
He like hit him and then it was like one Mississippi,
It
two,
wasn't
and then
good
jumped
ASL.
back.
it was a great sell, but it wasn't timed right to Ty's
Yeah.
point. Like it
No,
should have
like,
been.
yeah, it's like
instant.
delayed.
He was like, "Oh fuck, I missed it," and then
and
he
then
like
threw himself back.
he kind of countered for that. But yeah, and this is just a TV match. It really wasn't much. Like you said, Hack. It's like a popcorn. It's just like a palate cleaner, I guess, kind of.
Well, it's crazy because if that match isn't in there, I mean, granted, it was only about 5 minutes long, but the pay-per-view is only 4 matches. If that's not in there,
I know.
What was the girls? What was the ladder match?
Ladder match went what 25? You said, Ollie?
Okay.
Yeah.
So 5. So we're at 30 minutes of actual wrestling.
In a 3-hour show.
Well,
This match, I'll give 1 star to Ollie. I don't know if you have anything.
Yeah, one for me. I mean, not really much to talk about
Yeah.
here.
Hack. Anything?
I don't know. I got to give it a 3. The work was tight.
It was tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm not, I don't mean to shit on it with the 1,
Yeah.
but it's
Work
just
was
wasn't
tight.
that much to
Yeah.
to grade. But yeah, tight work. And Dom is super over, and
Yeah.
he's he knows his character. He knows what to do, and he's continuing to deliver on it. So a tie for you.
yeah, 2. I mean, so tough situation to be in between. You know, they went out there and accomplished what they were supposed to. Really.
Yeah. Up next on the show was the women's IC match between Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch.
Man,
And
did I love Becky's pants. I'm
you
kidding.
like the MC Hammer
No-
pants that she
oh
was
my
rocking?
God, they were. I couldn't stop looking at them. They bothered me the whole match. Those
Me too.
pants.
I was gonna say I
You
liked,
too?
Yeah.
I was gonna say
hated her
I liked her new look, but the pants were just too baggy.
look. Way too baggy.
Dude,
I like the new look,
I was
though.
fixated with them damn
Me
pants in
too.
that match.
Yeah,
I
me
can't
too.
believe you were too.
Yeah, the puffy pants. I was like, what is she rocking out here, man?
Yeah.
Seriously, it was hammer time.
In general, I liked it if they were a little bit like less baggy.
Yeah,
Like her new
just-
like
like the-
little get up.
the
with
top and everything. I'm
Yeah.
fine with that. But yeah.
Dude, I'm so glad you guys felt that.
Yeah, those
too.
parachute pants given a new name.
I thought the work in this match was super tight, man. These girls can really work, and I think this was the best match on the show work-wise. This was really, really strong stuff, and
What was this, like 22?
this was long.
15.
15?
That's it. Seemed
Wow.
longer.
Yeah,
dude.
it definitely seemed longer.
It
than
did
that.
seem longer than that.
Definitely seemed longer.
There was just like a lot of just like really cool stuff in this. Like she threw her under the steps. That was an interesting spot. There was the Bex Ploder for a 2 count. She countered a manhandle slam for a 2 count. She was going to work on her legs and then her neck. She chopped her into the ring. And then Michael Cole made a big point of mentioning that Becky was 0-5 in her last 5 title matches, which kind of was like foreshadowing the finish, I thought, a little bit there.
I missed that. All right.
Yeah, he said that, and I was like, is this her one there? She's got to get one. She then was fighting out of that. They went into the corner.
What was the chant they were chanting? I didn't
We
know.
want truth. They were chanting, "We want truth" during this match. Yes.
Is that why I didn't understand what the hell they were
Yeah,
saying?
they were chanting.
Probably.
They were chanting for "We want truth" out of nowhere.
Obviously, like not for him to come during that match, but just in general.
They were.
So that just chant starts out there in the middle of somebody's match. You know how pissed off I would be at that
Well,
if that was my match.
It was happening on Raw and SmackDown too before they brought him back. So it was happening throughout their shows, which I think played a part in them reaching out, being like, "Look, if we don't nip this."
So it wasn't against the girls; it was just getting it in at that time.
Yeah, I think
Somebody probably just randomly started it,
And it took off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was part of the, and we'll get to the R-Truth stuff
Yeah, we
later,
will.
but like I think that was a lot of their decision, like, oh, if we don't nip this in the butt now, it's going to be a thing for months and months and months, and we don't want that negative. Why do you shake your head?
Because I think that the fans get over shit quick. I mean, people leave and they get over it. Doesn't matter how big the star is.
I disagree. Think about the CM Punk chants that went on for years for CM Punk.
I wasn't watching that.
Yeah, he was.
I wasn't watching that.
He wins. He wins. He wasn't watching, so he can abstain
All
from
right,
knowing
yeah,
that.
but I don't know.
Fans were chanting for Punk ever, like the second he left, like almost up until the time that he signed with AEW. Like they kind of stopped at a certain point, but they would always like chant it, like Stephanie and Triple H when they were heels, like "We want Punk," especially when they were in Chicago. Really,
His
just
hometown.
yeah, just destroying. Like that was the thing that they
Very
always
good.
chanted.
Yeah, what's her name? The girl took a great RVD DDT.
Oh, the spike DDT and
Yeah,
the
shit,
sell.
that was great.
The sell of that was awesome.
Great stuff.
Really, really good sell.
And the Becky, Becky took leg drop
Oh, she was hanging on the
yeah.
the
Yeah, that-
guardrail, the outside.
Yeah, that was. She stiffed her with that.
Yeah, she did. She laid
Totally
that in.
stiff.
Kind of
with
had
that.
to.
Yeah,
She
kinda.
did.
Yeah.
I'm thinking too long. Hate clothes, and they fumbled the 10 count. There was a fumble getting back into the ring at 10 count or something.
Yeah.
Where there was
Becky was trying to get.
there was something that happened. I can't remember.
Becky was trying to get Lyra in the ring, and then she was at like 8.
Oh, then
Becky-
they went to set up for that move, and she wasn't ready for it. She hit her with the thing.
She was going for the
Something, yeah.
Nightwing, and then on the floor the ref was counting, and then at 9 they both ran into the ring, but it was kind of clunky then at that point.
Yeah. Okay.
They were then just like trading punches. Oh, there was one point where she hit a manhandle slam off the top rope,
Yeah.
which I thought could have easily been the finish, but I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was good.
She kicked out of that. They were just trading punches, and then Lynch rolled her up, and they said she had a handful of tights, but she didn't really have the tights much. Enough for the finish, for that being the finish. Like, if you're doing a tights finish, you got to really make sure you get the tights.
Well, the thing is the cameras did like usually if
Didn't
it was
know how.
usually if it was blatant, like even if you don't catch it live, they're gonna go back on the replays after the match and show you like how blatant it was. Like if they wanted to be part of the storyline, but it didn't seem like they were going back and showing you like they were purposefully showing you her grabbing her tights. So I don't think it was even meant to be. I think it was just kind of the way you cover in that situation, like that type of pin that she had on her. But
I have a hard time looking at her as a heel, though, too.
Becky,
Yeah, I like her much better as a baby.
I think it's a little forced. To your point,
Yeah.
yeah. You're fighting against
Well,
the
that's
grain.
new, probably. That's
It is. It's only been a couple months with her
Yeah.
as a heel.
Yeah, I mean, has she ever been a heel before, probably?
At some points earlier in her career, yeah. But
well,
not-
she was kind of like a heel right before fucking she got popped by Nia and became the man, and then
super baby after
and then
that.
it made her kind of baby,
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
the badass
Yeah.
baby. Like she was kind of like heel then, but
She's always had an edge to her too. So
Yeah.
that kind of where
Yeah,
it's
when
like
she's heel, she's gonna be like the heel that everybody loves.
right.
depending on who you work with, like Hack always says.
Yeah.
Strength of opponent. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
And they got a lot of strength. Those girls are freaking. They got so much talent.
They do.
Oh my gosh.
They really,
got
really
talent.
do. Afterwards,
Wow.
the stipulation of the match was that if Becky lost, she couldn't challenge for the belt ever again. But if she won, then Lyra had to raise her arm in victory. So then she raises her arm reluctantly after the match, and then Becky's like, no, you got to do all four corners. So she did around the ring, and then she said, no, you got to strap me up. And then afterwards, she gave her a big German on her head, which is great. Crowd popped huge for it. Overall, for a match, like I said, I thought this was the best thing in the show. I thought the finish was a little clunky. I'm going to go 4 stars for it, though. I've been so impressed with Lyra's work, and Becky is a ring general. So 4 stars for me. Ollie?
I'm gonna go 3 for it. It was solid. Nothing really bad about it that I can say. I probably liked the match that they had previously better. Not that there was anything bad about this match, like I said, like it was good, but I mean, yeah, it was just solid work. Like really good from both of them. The more I see from Lyra, the more and more I like watching her. I think she's probably one of the best they got right now.
Yeah.
Maybe. So yeah, solid work for me.
Hack?
I gotta give them a 4 just for the position that they're in. Like that match has got to be a good match. You know what I'm saying?
It's gotta.
in that situation. So yeah, I think they did great.
Yeah.
I mean, and Becky's great.
Yeah, she's
The other girl I'm not like loving yet, but
I'm loving her work, man. I think she's a tight worker. She's really technical. She's got all her fundamentals down, and I think she's starting to find herself.
she's got her fundamentals
She
down.
does.
That's why Tosh likes her fundamentals.
Dude, I'm watching her do holds, and she's like Daniel Bryan out there.
Oh yeah,
man.
that is true. She
I'm
does put people in some shit.
I'm serious. I really love her work. I'm a big fan of hers. Wait, what you gave it a 4 though? 4?
I
Okay.
did.
Okay. So did I. Ty?
Does anyone else feel when these two work that they're going too fast?
Sometimes, definitely.
Like I feel like they're going way too fast sometimes. Like I like the match and I like the work in it, but sometimes I catch myself watching, like especially this one. I was like, slow down, like let the crowd, like you guys are like going, like I don't know. That's just how I felt. It was like the last like couple matches I feel like they've done, but it was really solid work. I mean, I didn't really like the finish considering the hostility that those two have had.
I didn't either. I would have went
Like-
higher if there was a better finish on it.
Yeah, like considering the feud that they've been like, how visceral and like bad blooded it is, like a kind of reverse small package, you know, for the win. I don't really love like if you're
Clean
gonna
1, 2, 3 probably would have been better.
and I hate the booking. I don't think Becky should have that. Becky should have done
You
business.
think she's above
I
that?
think Becky doesn't need that belt.
But I think she's going there to make that a division. And now she's going to feud with Bayley and then maybe put it on Lyra later. Or, like, Becky...
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see.
Becky can bring that division to credibility to where, like, oh, the women's IC title has got to be on a pay-per-view now. Because, you know, she's a name, big star. Like, the women's IC title, if Becky wasn't involved in the match, I doubt it makes the show. The women's U.S. title, has it been on a pay-per-view yet? I mean, I don't think so.
I mean, it's a fair point. It's a very good point.
You make the mid-card title mean something by having Becky involved in that division. And then you also...
I see your point. I just wish, like, Lyra, I was kind of hoping they were just going to build and build and build and build. Like, because obviously if Becky loses, again, it doesn't hurt her. You know,
No.
like, I'm thinking, like, do business, get a younger chick over, you know, raise the level of her is kind of how I see it, but I get your point. It's kind of a new belt, and you need to bring some, you know, I don't know the right word.
Credibility.
Yeah,
Credibility to the division.
to it. So, I mean, it's a fair point. I just wish they would have kept it.
Yeah, but you build it as if she loses, that she never gets a shot again. So you're like booked into that corner.
Right. Then she can't. So, I mean, she's got to win at some point, too. Becky, like, I know we say she can't be hurt if she just loses, but your stars have to win at some point, too. Like, you got to put your stars over. And Becky's...
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't ever lose.
Well, no, she's lost a bunch recently. She's lost to Lyra a bunch.
Yeah.
They won at Mania, but then they lost the belts the next
But
night.
that's your job to do it, to lose to her like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, and Lyra...
Put her over on like Monday Night Raw or something.
Lyra can go from here and be in a world title picture, too. She doesn't have to stay in the IC.
Yeah, I mean, I hope. And that's just, I don't really see WWE doing that much of it. So, but
We'll see.
overall for the match wise, you know, I'll give it a 3 just because, you know, not necessarily because of the work. I didn't love the finish and didn't, you know, the booking. You brought up a good point, so it makes me think a little bit differently. But, like, about the booking direction of
Yeah.
it. But, no, very solid. And like you said, I had probably the best match on the card.
Yeah, the best actual wrestling match on the card, I thought.
Yeah.
Up next on the show was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match between Seth Rollins, Penta, El Grande Americano, Solo Sikoa, Andrade, your boy Hack, and LA Knight. Man, this match, you got a lot of big stars in this match. A lot of over guys. I thought the crowd was really alive for this. Like, the crowd really was interested in this match. And not that they weren't invested all night, but it just kind of felt this one especially like the first start of the match when they ganged up on Seth. And then Solo had that great spot. I didn't realize he could do like comedy stuff like he did when he was doing.
That's one of my notes.
Was
He was different.
He was.
He was different, dude. He was doing his goofy shit and stuff like that.
He was doing the LA Knight.
And then the hugging at the end and stuff like that. And Excel, dude. I think that might be him.
I think that's
Yeah.
his natural personality.
Yeah, that goof or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that might be coming out.
And
so that's great. That's exactly what he needs.
Right, because he can't be that stoic enforcer, serious guy forever.
Exactly.
No, because Fatu came in and basically took over his position,
Right.
like his position as that badass dude. So Solo's got to find another avenue.
I
to
love
the-
seeing him do something different, dude. That was it. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, good job.
And I think
kid.
he's super underrated as a work. Like, he doesn't get like super over, but his timing's really good. His bumping's really good. Like,
Dude, he bumped his ass off. He did more. I think he did more bumps than anybody else in the
Yeah,
match.
he just needs to find that little, like, we're talking about, like, maybe like a semi-gimmick switch to maybe draw something out of the crowd, because right now, if you can't keep going and doing what you're doing with him,
No.
because you have Jacob's that dude.
Right.
So, I mean, he kind of got screwed in that aspect of it, but I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be very similar during this. Obviously, I'm we're all thinking it's going to be a Jacob Solo like feud.
Oh, totally.
Probably to SummerSlam.
Totally.
So he's got to be the same kind of dude there. But
I don't know. I'd like to see him get away from them, if that's
I agree.
possible.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Get away from the Samoan, whatever. Like, get him back. Because now he's kind of like banished from the group,
Well,
now.
him and Jacob are going to have to go head to head. Him and Fatu.
They have to. Hack. You got to do the blow off of it. You got to do a blow
Yeah,
off.
and then after that, Solo can break away from the group and whatever, and then you got Tomatonga and Tongaloa.
Yeah, those guys.
Solo got anybody else on his side now?
Yeah, he has.
Tomatonga and Tongaloa.
So they'll probably work that towards freaking Thanksgiving, maybe, right?
Who knows?
Well,
I mean,
no, because of all the freaking teams.
Yeah, till you're saying the Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, the one of them's hurt. He might be coming back soon.
Yeah,
Tongaloa, I don't know. I don't know which one's which.
One of them is hurt right now. You're right about that. Back in the ring, there was Penta had Americano in the corner, was chopping the shit out of him. Rollins threw a ladder, and they did a flipping razor's edge and set up a ladder in the ring. There was before that though, there was a bunch of dives on the outside. And then Americano had a ladder that hit him right in the nuts on the outside. That looked like, it was Andrade.
Yeah.
Andrade took the ladder to the nuts on the
Just
outside.
by happenstance.
Just a
by,
complete
yeah.
accident.
I was like, ooh.
I felt so bad for him. I felt really, really bad for him.
Dude,
it can happen.
Oh, yeah.
You ever get hit with a ladder in the nuts? Hack?
No, but... No, dude, I've been lucky. I never wore a cup, never, like, any played sports or whatever, dude, but I never had a problem.
With your grapefruits, too? I mean, geez.
Never
Yeah,
had
those are some big targets. I don't know how, yeah.
Before I had my first hernia operation, one of my nut sacks was the size of a grapefruit.
You have two nuts. Still is.
Now just both of them.
Yeah, he's like Randy Marsh in
Yeah,
South Park.
couple cantaloupes.
Literally. You ever seen that fucking episode of South Park? That's Hack.
Yeah, that's
Daily.
Nuts in a wheelbarrow.
You guys, dude, it's hard going through life with the big balls. It really is. I should have a support group or something.
He's got big balls. She's got big
I'm
balls.
sorry, I need a support group for my balls.
Oh, the Cantaloupe Nut Support Group? Yeah, I think that's around the corner. All those big ball dudes smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, the CSG.
The best part about everybody on the outside was Americano set up a ladder up on the turnbuckle. Like, he wedged it there so early in this
I'm
match.
so jealous of that spot.
That spot, well, we'll get to that.
I gotta admit, I can't believe I never thought of that spot. Cannot
Well, their
believe
turnbuckles are way more conducive to have that done. Like, you guys had like those like real thin
didn't have,
ring
like,
posts. Yeah, you guys had like those real thin ring posts where like it's a lot harder to like lodge and like
And when did you ever
and climb it up.
And when did you ever really have 3 ladders that you were using? Like,
Yeah,
true.
I know, but you could have done it from like
That
the
with, like, a
top rope
table.
with a 12-foot ladder. You don't have to climb up the one outside. You do it from the top going in.
True.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
You also
should've-
had, you guys had those
Can't believe I
shitty,
never thought of that
those
spot.
shitty painter ladders too, without the other
Yeah,
side.
some of them, the legs would bend and stuff.
By the way, I sent you in our group chat this week.
Oh,
too.
that deep fake bull crap.
Hack always loves to claim that he invented the ladder. Him and JT Smith at Potter High School.
Dude,
in
I'm
1990.
telling you, it's AI deep fake shit. It's
Well-
all over. Everything's all deep fake anymore.
Well,
That's it. I can't believe any of it.
I sent a link of Jake the Snake and the Junkyard Dog from 1979 in Canada working a ladder match. Hack, so take
Dude,
that.
but it was great. Where was the ladder going to?
No, I have no idea.
I know it wasn't like an A-frame ladder. It was just a straight ladder in the middle of the ring, like going to heaven.
yeah, that you would like paint the side of your house with back in the day.
Yeah, yes.
It went to nowhere.
Yeah, it was the spectacle of the ladder. So
It was the visual of it.
Yeah.
I made an A-frame ladder match.
Well, so
The first ever A-frame ladder.
okay, there he goes. That's his cabin. Yes. He wants to claim history there. Back to this match, though. There was just a ton of spots. There was a pedigree by
There was a
Rollins.
million of them.
What else happened? There was Samoan Spike, super kick. Rollins set up a ladder in the corner. He threw Solo in that, and then a curb stomp. There was another big ladder in the ring. Americano climbed up that and got him in an ankle lock.
Oh,
which
wait a
is
minute.
cool.
How about the freaking spot? What LA Knight coming up afterwards and then side slamming? What's his name after that?
Well, so let's get to
That
that.
was a great bump.
We talking about
that
you're talking
dude's
about,
a cat.
You're talking about the Americano spot, right?
where he climbed up the turnbuckle ladder.
Yeah, and then he came up after him. Who did he grab? And it side slammed him.
Americano.
LA Knight grabbed Americano.
Americano.
Okay.
That was the coolest spot in the match by far.
Did you know that? You
the
LA
time-
Knight's a cat, dude.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's athletic.
he does the hop up on the turnbuckle
Yeah, I know.
spot. and-
So does the freaking Samoan dude. Did it tonight? Did it that match too?
You notice
Yeah.
how great
A little later.
how great it was. How Seth was holding the bottom of the ladder for the teeter totter for him
Yep.
to go from one like. Literally,
Yeah.
just had
Somebody's
him.
gotta be there.
Got it
I know,
on
it's
there.
like
He's
no-
selling and nobody's really noticing but
it's like-
us.
no fans are looking at that. They're all looking at the teeter-totter freaking thing. It's
And
like
Seth just
veteran
guides
shit.
the ladder nice and easily for him, like right over there. It's good shit.
That was really good. And especially, too, he got the plate in his mask.
Yeah, that was good.
He put the plate in there, Ollie, your favorite finish in the business. And I love the way Penta...
No, it's the adhesive patch, dude.
Oh, it's the... I'm sorry. It's the adhesive patch. I love the way Penta sold when he fell down the ladder, too, after he got headbutted. He, like, slid down the ladder like he
Yeah.
actually was knocked out. I was like, that's a great sell. And then he didn't have to take a bump off it,
That
too.
was like his hands were holding him. Like his hands were everything. His feet weren't even on the rails.
Right.
His hands were
Kind of
just
like going down like
drop
a,
down.
a firehouse
yeah.
pull. Yep. It was just really good. I love that sell.
Shout
That's
out Firehouse Subs, friend of the show.
At that point, then Rollins is calling for Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. They came out and cleared house. Americano took such a great spear in the entrance ramp, but the replay, the official camera for it, like fucked it up at first. Like should have
Didn't catch it all. Didn't catch it all.
got a better camera shot of that because Breaker's spear there looks fucking amazing.
Dude, I'm sorry. WWE does way too many camera cuts.
So many.
It like halfway makes me nauseous when I watch the fucking
Yeah.
thing. Like, it's you got to get them from this angle, then this angle. Like, and they're probably taking 3 steps, and there's been 4 different camera cuts while the workers have actually moved like 3 steps.
It's ridiculous.
Like, it literally like gives me a headache. It like makes me nauseous. I'm like, dude, guys, there's obviously the outside frame, and I'm not talking about in like a ladder match because obviously there's 6 guys out there, so sometimes you got to switch, even though there's only 2 people doing a spot in these ladder matches that they do, and everybody's taking powder for 15 minutes.
Yep.
But no, I don't know. They just do way too many camera cuts, and I'm like, guys, give me like 3. It's I don't know. I don't know if that.
Yeah,
was
but
you
guys are
noticed.
missing some shit so bad. Some of these kicks
are brutal.
are just, they're coming nowhere near your head, and you're
And the
selling
thing
them
is
like
people
you
put
just
their
got
hand,
knocked
people put their
out.
hand up every day, so there's no reason you should not at least hit their hand if they're gonna block it.
I mean, the guys are going up when you're running at him and trying to kick the guy that's sitting on the top rope. Fucking, you hit him in like the shoulder over here, and he acts like he's dead.
I know what you're saying, Hack, where like the camera cuts can be your friend to disguise for misses, or they
it
can be
works
your enemy.
both ways.
And
if you got Ospreay against Kenny Omega in there, you could just go one camera, the whole
Right.
match.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
maybe pull it out for a wide shot,
Yeah,
the arena or
but
something.
those guys, that's the way the business is just now.
I know, and I feel like they think
Nobody
people
lays
have,
in anything
but I feel like they also
unless
think,
it's an accident.
I feel like they think people have short attention spans, so you have to do a lot of camera cuts.
Right.
Like, but that's not the case. I feel like if you're watching and you're invested, you're going to be watching and be invested.
Yeah, I know. It's like boom, boom, boom.
It's
boom,
just way
boom,
too
boom.
much.
I'm like, Jesus Christ! Can I like?
You know
watch
what?
it
We
like-
should count them during like a 10-minute match one time.
I will.
How many camera cuts?
It'd probably be
Dude,
500.
I don't even know if you can.
You gotta
You
get
might
those
not be
little
able to
clickers.
count that fast.
Yeah, right. Like one of those, like
Oh yeah.
like a pitch, fucking.
Yeah, you'd have to get one of
Oh
those.
my God, there might be 500.
No, like Ty said, it's nauseating.
Oh wow.
After the run-in for all those guys, they had a standoff in the middle of the ring, which was pretty cool, with Fatu and JC Mateo, who came out. And the other thing, too, I know I had said this before the show. Braun Breaker, what the heck was his outfit? He looked like a fucking waiter. Why was he rocking that? Like,
I thought the same thing myself. I don't know, the tight clothes or something like that, or I don't know. And
I thought it was kind of like security,
You said Secret Service
Secret
kind of or
Service type
something.
thing to Seth. Because when they showed him walking in the arena, that's kind of how it was. It was like those
I
two
kinda like
behind,
that tie.
behind Seth. It kind of looked like a Secret Service.
And
like,
the other dude was in all black.
But he was in a beater.
right.
Anytime they should just have Breaker roll around with no shirt on.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's
Yeah,
like,
just,
I don't know.
Like just have him roll around with no shirt. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Ditch the waiter look.
And no, that's a good point too.
it's like just-
Nobody cares.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's
Oh,
like
wait,
if you're
he's-
trying to make him be a badass,
Yeah.
have him walk around looking fucking shredded like he is all the
Or
time.
like a chip or like a hack
I was
Chippendale out.
just going there.
Cuffs and the collars.
Don't put the cuffs on him. Just wear this.
Yeah, the
Just wear
suspenders.
it.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd get really over with that.
Oh, he would.
Yeah, and let me know if you had a spear through the guardrail on your bingo card.
Yeah.
Did you see the one spear where he had to take like a hard left and then go the right through the
Oh,
wall?
and I think he like hopped over a cameraman or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the other
it's like, if
one.
you want to
That
have him
was
wear
the
all
other
black,
one by the tables.
put him in just like black pants and like a black cutoff
Right.
or something. There's no need for the collared shirt.
There is no need for the colored shirt. They brought on the outside, and then there was a ladder in there. Fatu was helping Solo put the ladder up, and then he grabbed his foot.
I don't understand. Why does he help him and then turn on him once he gets to the top of the
Because
ladder?
it's wrestling. I don't know. He really wouldn't have
know what
fucked
I'm
him.
saying?
Yes, I know what you're saying, Hack. And I hated Solo, like... You all right, bud? I hated Solo when he was like...
Why do you care if he's coughing? Yeah. What's wrong with you? It's a good pen.
Solo,
I just got it today.
Solo acted like his foot was stuck. Like, he looked down. He looked like such a goof then. Why was he selling it like that with his foot, not being able to walk up the ladder?
Yeah, I don't know. He was like, wait, my leg's not moving.
Yeah, what the hell?
It's wrestling.
Yeah.
It's wrestling,
I don't know. I
guess.
think it was partly the helping and then turn thing. I think it was because Solo and his boys came out and helped Fatu previously, and he obviously didn't like that, so he's coming out. But I also think it's kind of giving Solo like a like a self satisfaction, but like it's a I don't know.
It's for the crowd and the crowd reaction.
yeah,
it's
I
not
can't think of the right words that I'm.
It's not for anything else.
Like a false sense of satisfaction.
Yeah, like it's.
Like he's like, oh, he came out to help me, and then
All right. I thought about it. Now, like you said, all of a sudden his leg gets hurt. The problem is you're up too fast. If you gotta act like you're hurt before you start to climb, and the other guy's not in the spot, well then you shouldn't be where you are right then.
right. I felt
You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be standing at the bottom of the ladder knowing full well the guy that's supposed to come near you is nowhere near you at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're going to stand there and look stupid and make up like your legs hurt because you're there too early.
Well, he was kind of stuck, and then when he looked, it was like, why am I
But it's
stuck?
a matter of fact, it's just the way it is. You shouldn't be there if you know that guy's not set up for that spot.
Yeah. Anyway, he's
It
super...
happened all the time, and the girls were up there halfway, then they slow down because the other girl's not there yet.
the timing on the women's was really bad.
Yeah.
He then pulled him down, super kicked him, gave him a great moonsault.
Good super kick.
Great moonsault, and then he throws him through the ladder that was bridged on the outside, which
The
was
gimmick ladder.
the gimmicked ladder.
Not sure if it was intentional or not.
Aaron was like, "Oh, intentional? I don't know." Yeah, we're not sure if that was intentional. And the other
They're
thing,
the only two that have been up in the ring for the last 15 minutes. Everyone, that's the one
I
thing
have
about
an
that.
exact time on this,
Dude,
so you know.
as soon as those dudes came out, Braun and like whatever, everybody was done for the whole rest, and that was
Okay.
I don't know how.
So, all right, how long do you think it was from the time that Braun freaking, when they came through the thing after he was going like this, what's his name was calling him on?
Yeah.
I put it on until the end of their segment when Fatu left.
oh God, that
Gotta
had to be
be-
6 minutes.
7 minutes.
I was gonna say 8.
was
7
long.
minutes, everybody was down.
Yeah.
I mean, you took 2 of them, but what happened to Penta? What happened to them at the end of the match?
Penta
To
got
Penta and
nothing. Andrade got
But they went. I mean, at least what's the name? He hit 2. He hit
Gable
what's
got
the
the
name coming down the
Americana
aisle,
got the
and then
spear.
jumped over the camera guy to get him to one on the other
He
side.
got speared through a barricade, and somebody took
Yeah.
something
So
else, too.
Andrade and Penta got nothing to him, and then they got douched because you never saw him again the rest of the match.
And
did you?
LA Knight.
Yeah,
No,
Until
LA
he
Knight
showed
was
up at
there
the
to
end.
finish.
no,
At the
he
finish.
did. He
Yeah,
was
that's
in
what
the
I'm saying.
finish.
Until the end.
But Pente and Andrade got totally douched out of that. You didn't even see. Do you remember
Yeah,
seeing
no.
them at the end?
No.
So they were gone at the 7 minute
Yeah,
mark before
done
the
for the
fast.
whole thing. As soon as those
Never
dudes
seen
came out,
again.
until the bell rung.
Wow.
If you're doing
That's bad.
if you're doing more than the 3-minute powder, let's say, you better be taking some big bump in order to do it.
Yeah.
Right? I think that should be a fair rule. Like you got to go through a table or something, or like I don't
Get
know.
pile driven on the
dude,
concrete
No, but
floor.
to your point though, Heck, these guys were just they just
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
out of
No,
sight,
but
out
it's
of
like
mind.
anytime you saw Jeff Hardy do a high spot in a ladder match or whatever, he was done.
Right.
But the spot was fucking insane.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
you get Darby self, and, like Darby
Yeah,
would do.
you know, it's
Every
like-
40-foot
It's like,
spot.
all right, well, we know when's Jeff's spot coming because we know whenever it comes, they ain't winning the fucking match. You know
Right.
what I'm
No, those
saying?
dudes are taking like a DDT and are down for 6.5 minutes.
right.
Literally.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Literally.
And like you're insulting your audience at that point.
And sometimes they'll take 3 finishers from somebody and kick out, but they'll take a DDT and be out for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you think the fans like
I hate that.
are we the only ones that are like really paying attention to that?
We're
though?
the problem.
I'm not saying we're the problem, but like I don't know if
No.
like are regular fans actually even
No.
picking up on that?
No.
No, I think Bob would fucking think exactly the way we think.
Well, I don't
well,
think
those
I
guys-
don't think he's. I'm not
Probably.
talking about him as a regular fan.
no,
Like,
no.
We're looking at it different. I'm talking about like your
as a
regular run of the mill and
no,
like.
I don't think they care.
Because they're getting the run-ins, they're getting the dangling thing over here that is taking their
Right.
eyes away to it, right?
Right.
So they're not invested like we are, where we're like, where
Yes.
the fuck is Pentagon?
Yeah, like what the yeah.
You know what I mean?
I couldn't believe you never saw him again the rest of the thing. I'm glad I timed it to 7 minutes
I'm glad
long,
you
too.
did. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
That was just on the second watch. I had to watch it again because I hated them. I hated both of the matches pretty much, but I had to watch them again just to make sure I wasn't like so skewed fucking watching them.
Yeah. Rollins then grabbed the official Fireball ladder, and then he was setting that up in the middle of the ring. And then he was climbing it up, and LA Knight pulled him down, hit a lariat, and then Rollins recovered, threw him into the ladder, and then hit him with a curb stomp, and then climbed the ladder and took home the briefcase to win the Money in the Bank. This went really long. What did this go?
33?
Yeah, like this is long as hell. It wasn't bad. Like the work in this, there was just a lot that I didn't like. The crowd was really into it the entire time. I will say that. But as a match, it didn't have anything besides the Americano spot, which is a genius spot with that ladder set up in the corner. The only thing shitty about that, we talked about that before the show, was the slingshot by LA Knight.
Yeah, when LA Knight like kind of like tries to do the slingshot and Americano's climbing up, it's like you could just not do that at all.
It would have been fine if you just didn't. For a match, though, like it was kind of just a ladder match, and I didn't really love a lot of the booking in it. I'm just going to go 3 stars for it. Ollie?
I'm gonna go like 2 for it. I mean, it was okay. It had some like good parts to it. I mean, Fatu is not really a part of the match, but he was probably the best part of the match.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think a lot of the problem with these ladder matches now, particularly the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, is that there's too many people in it that you know aren't gonna win.
I was just gonna say that. That's
And
funny. I was
it's
just saying
like there's gotta be like you have Seth Rollins in here who you're like, okay, he could win, probably gonna win, and Solo who you're like, oh, maybe, but probably not, and the rest of them, no fucking chance.
the only way. The
LA
only
Knight had a chance. I had little chance.
yeah, I think the only way Solo's believable is if like Roman or somebody had the belt.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? You got to think about who's got the belt, or maybe if Jay. I mean, I guess he could have went after Jay,
He could have.
but like, there's got to be like a path to that. Like Andrade, there's not a single fucking person on the planet that thought Andrade was going to win.
Besides Hack.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I get you
I
don't
thought
have,
maybe he's getting his push.
but it's like and I get obviously you don't have.
Him and her back together.
But like every one of these, like in every one of these matches, you obviously need the people that like aren't gonna win and whatever.
Right.
But it's like
But somebody like Penta's in there for that to have like high spots or whatever.
and it's like you don't. I mean, I don't know how many top guys even want to be in this match or do this match. But like, it's just you need more believable people in the match, like to make it mean. I mean, we obviously have our problems with everybody taking too many powders and whatever, but I also think the big problem with it is now that it's its own pay-per-view. Like you said, it used to just be on WrestleMania, which made it more of a spectacle.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, we get to see this one time a year.
Right.
And you still get the pay-per-view now, but now you get 2 matches.
Yeah.
And it's just like, the women's a little bit don't really have that problem because they're a little bit more like unpredictable, and like their main card like workers change a lot more than the men's.
Right.
But like the men's matches, you got to have more people in it that
have grudges, that have.
well, maybe that, or just that you
Star
think,
power.
yeah, just that have a possibility of winning.
Like
Yeah.
instead of that tag match,
So
the main
nobody
event-
believes Andre's winning, right?
No.
Nobody believes Penta's winning.
Nobody believes
See, I don't-
Americano's winning, and
right,
nobody
that's
probably
true.
believes Solo's winning. Like, you're going into that match knowing Seth is winning.
Right.
Seth or
Wait.
LA Knight. I
Yeah.
thought LA
And
Knight could have, but
Yeah,
It's a lot of-
I didn't even really think about it like that.
It's a lot of
until you guys
cross
just said that.
It's a lot of cross-offs. And I think
Yeah,
to your-
And it
there is.
does
It's
your
4
and
out
it-
of 6 are
and it-
gone.
and
Right.
It does
Yeah,
your,
right.
It does your match psychology a huge disservice as well.
right, because
Andrade's going to climb the fucking ladder, and you're like, he ain't getting it.
Yeah, no shit, no way.
Okay, yeah, well, let's talk about this.
He
with
could grab the hook for all he cares. I know he
did.
Going down.
He did.
You know
Well,
what I'm
let's
saying?
talk about with this the girls then. How many girls do you think had a chance to win that match?
Honestly, it was pretty wide open.
And when you look at it, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Julia, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, and Vaquer. I mean, the only one I would have said Roxanne Perez is probably has no chance.
She
Everyone
was the
else-
black and the one girl in the black and the green, right?
Yeah,
And there was
but-
another girl in the black and the green. Who was her? I didn't believe she could win.
Stephanie
Stephanie
Vaquer.
Vaquer.
I
Yeah,
thought
she's
she
on the
could win
come up.
'cause
I
she's-
didn't
She's on the
believe
come
in her
up.
yet.
She's the
Okay.
top NXT
Yeah.
star right
Did you
now.
believe she could win?
Yes.
I did, and I thought
Okay.
Julia could.
Who else did you think?
Mommy, Bliss, Naomi. The only one I didn't really think, who was it? Cora? Is that what we're talking about?
Cora.
Cora Jade?
No,
Jade's
no,
on
she's
that
not
match.
in
No.
the company anymore.
No,
Yeah.
The girl
Roxanne
with the
Perez.
beads
Roxanne
on her
Perez. I
hair.
don't know. Don't they look kind of similar, don't they?
Who was the girl with the beads in
And,
her hair?
Julia.
Julia.
I don't think
didn't
she.
believe her
I didn't
either.
think she was gonna.
I thought she
But
could.
I don't know much of her work though.
Yeah.
That was the first time I think I've seen her work,
Yeah, but that's just like the women's
and she was
top
good.
workers fluctuate so much. Like it's way
more wide
than
open.
the men's.
They got a
Usually,
lot of talent.
Like the
there,
men's,
man.
you could have had
I
like you
think
could
that
have
we're gonna
got rid
Oscar back
of
to the
Andrade
push.
and whoever and you didn't have to do the tag team match. You could like Logan Paul could have been in that match. AJ Styles could have been in that match, and it could have been a way more believable of like any
That's
of
a
those
good point.
You know, like any of those dudes could win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Finn Balor.
Finn
And it's
Balor.
fine with them, and it's fine with AJ being in that match, and you know, because he's a badass.
Totally. I mean, to your point though, Ali, definitely lacking star power. Not that LA Knight's not these guys aren't over, but like real credible, like, oh shit, they could be world champions.
There's no
guys.
reason Sami Zayn shouldn't have been in that match.
Oh, Sammy absolutely should have been in. Totally, absolutely.
And I know he was in like the qualifying match for it or whatever, but it's like just put Sami Zayn in the fucking match.
All right, how about this?
Oh, he would have got it.
And he's actually a dude who's worked a shit ton of ladder matches who could probably make the match better.
And
Yeah.
Punk not being in it.
There was a lot of talent in that match, though. Those guys,
didn't do- and they didn't do anything.
No,
could go.
I'm not saying anybody in this match wasn't a good or isn't a good worker or isn't credible or isn't over. But when you talk about the top of the card that WWE has, and to your point, Ali, about the star power, this match didn't have that to be like, oh yeah, they could be a future world champion like this year. Because when you win the Money in the Bank, it's basically like a golden
All
ticket.
right, what is that now? How do you? I'm sure we got to get Ask AI to get us the number. How many times have they cashed it in and not won a strap?
I think they said it's like 70% that the men win, or something like that.
Yeah, I was
Wow,
gonna say it's
is
only
that-
been a couple times.
It's only been a couple times that
Well,
that guy
how many
hasn't won.
Money in the Banks you think there have been
There's been like 20 some.
for just the guys,
Yeah.
not the girl? The
Yeah.
girls, who knows how many
It's
they've
been going on for a long time. So
All
it's
right.
like I think
So
WrestleMania 21.
So that would mean 70% would be. That means 6 out of 20 didn't fucking win a title.
Right. There was a couple guys. I know Baron
That's
Corbin.
a lot, though, to me.
I know Baron Corbin didn't. I'm trying to think of other guys.
I didn't know Baron Corbin is. But I wasn't watching, probably.
Buried him. He just buried Baron Corbin out of nowhere. He took it straight from
Great
me.
No, I wasn't watching wrestling. I don't know that dude.
I know. But overall, you gave what did you give? 2 stars. Hack. What do you give this match?
Yo, check this out. What
Okay.
about the other 2 dudes? So basically, the guys come out and then they have a tag match in the middle of this ladder match.
Right.
Okay, what happened to the other 2 dudes?
You're talking Braun Breaker and
What happened to them?
they just kind of they
You
succeeded.
never saw them again either.
They succeeded in running in and
Think
ruining
about
the
that.
match.
You never saw them either again.
No one
You
took
had
them out.
I mean, we weren't
what's
supposed
his
to
name?
really see him again. I don't
Yeah, I
think.
know, but that's just screwed up booking to me. Dude, I don't understand. They just went away.
But there's like 8 people on the ground on the outside of the ring. You know?
Mission accomplished. We
Right,
did.
yeah.
No, I know what you're saying though, Hack.
4 dudes that never seen again in the match.
What do you give it as a rating?
I don't know. 3.5, 4.
3.5, 4. Okay. Ty?
I'll give it a 2.
2. Okay. Yeah, it's just no, just been there, done that.
Yeah, dude, it's like you said, lack of star power in the matches.
Yeah.
Too much downtime, one-on-one shit.
Yeah. Next up on the show, WWE made it official. WrestleMania is going back to Las Vegas. Triple H said, "We're doubling down. This
Back
is
at
what
the
we
Pearl,
do.
baby.
It's
Dude,
what we do.
Hack versus the
shocked
Invisible
about
Man.
that.
What we do. What we do. What we do. What we do here. What we do."
They said, I don't know, I think he said it was like their most lucrative, most attended, most whatever.
Well, first of all, you have to think of that because the prices go up every year. I'm
Right.
sure they don't do the prices
Adjusted for inflation.
Adjusted for what? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Well, it's what we do. They're going back to Vegas again, so we're going to be back in
We'll
Vegas
be back
as
to have
well.
a good time, baby.
Yeah, we'll see you, V-Man. We'll see you at the Pearl Theater. We'll see you guys. We'll do it all over again.
Gunky will be sleeping at the Pearl Theater again. You can
Watching
catch that
every
live.
show.
I'll be wrestling the Invisible Man.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Is that an official call out?
Yeah, are you talking shit?
I'm calling out the
You think you're hardcore, you think you're extreme, Invisible Man.
You think you're invisible?
You think you're hardcore. You think you're extreme Invisible Man.
Up next on the show was the tag team match between WWE Champion John Cena and Logan Paul taking on Cody Rhodes, and then WWE World Champion Jey Uso. So, man, this was just your standard
Old school tag match.
old school house show main event tag match. And this was Cody's first match since WrestleMania. I thought in the ring here, Cody had
What match?
Cody's first match. It's the main event we're talking
Main
about.
event. Cody and Uso.
Cody and Uso versus Cena and
Cena.
All
Paul.
right, then you said the first time he's been in the ring since WrestleMania.
Yeah,
yeah.
He hasn't worked since WrestleMania until this match.
I didn't know
And
that.
I thought, man, not only did he look super sharp in there in the ring and everything, but he had the most star power in the ring out of anybody.
Yeah, but even Cody's star power is starting to
You think?
think so a little bit.
I don't think so. I still think he's the guy. I still think he's the guy there.
Well, it's tough to gauge in that match because
With Logan.
Yeet is so over right now, and Cody's got that, and there's so much vitriol, hate for Cena.
Well,
Logan
Cena's
Paul,
half and half.
Yeah, like there's so much star talent in that ring that like I think everybody kind of muffles
Each other's cheers out.
If it's like a 1v1, it would be way more visible and clear of that.
I just thought his presence, and I just thought he was like, man, this guy really is that guy.
Well, yeah, he had a lot of time to shine on the side of the freaking, waiting for the hot tag. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's in the hard camera the whole time. Of course he's going to shine more there.
Yeah.
Because the other guy's back's to you.
Right?
Yeah, this was like
You know what I mean? He's facing the camera all the time. The other guy's back's to you.
This was just your
It's
dirt.
made to look like that. To make him look more over.
Yeah, this was like Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter versus Sheik and Bob Backlund.
It was just your dirt standard, just
Yeah,
typical,
right.
typical tag, and the face heel structure was
really
perfect in
was.
this match. There wasn't really
It was art, though, to me.
it really was
It
kind of
really
though.
was art. It was nice to see. I wasn't in a hurry to see anything really because I knew I wasn't really expecting a lot. You know what I'm saying? It was lovely.
Cena did, like, after he's working over Uso and he stopped him. I love that he did, like, a curtsy to the crowd. That was just, like, good heel shit.
When fucking,
you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
when Logan was fucking copying Cody, doing the flips and shit, and John's fucking clapping for him.
At the beginning of the match,
Yeah.
yeah, that was cool, too.
He's great.
They were picking Uso apart, stopping him from getting tags. And then he finally got the hot tag, and then he's going wild in there. They're doing some double teams.
Sound like JR. He's going wild.
No, he's going wild. He was clearing them out. He hit a Cody Cutter on Cena, and then he threw Paul to the floor, hit a suicide dive, and then he hit him with Cena with a missile drop kick, and then there was an AA, and then Uso broke the pin up on that one. Rhodes then grabbed Cena and he hit a crossroads. Paul went up for a splash, but he missed and he hit Cena by accident. Then Uso hit a spear on Paul, and then everybody's laid out in the middle of the ring.
That was really good timing, that whole sequence.
That whole double down right there.
Yeah, the whole sequence leading up to that was really good.
It was crisp.
Yeah.
They both got back to their feet, Cena and Uso. Cena went for an AA and then got a super kick. Paul then took Cena's place.
How many finishes did he take? How many of Cena's? He took 3, I think. I counted.
Yeah, a bunch.
Jay took 3 of them.
Yeah. Rhodes went to the rescue there from that. Hit a bionic elbow. And then there was a pulverizer. And then instead of that, going for a cover, he went up, did the drone thing, and then he gave Rhodes.
Great spot.
You like the drone.
Him holding on to it all the way through to his bump onto the ground.
And then there was
And then the best spot of the night.
the splash on the drone.
Moonsault onto the table.
Oh, the moonsault onto the table
It was the best
Dude.
spot of the night.
was
Easy.
picture
That was like a
perfect.
chef's kiss. Like,
It was Sabu-esque. I mean,
Yeah,
it was.
that
It
could go
was.
so wrong for you.
Dude,
if
that's
he-
a far fuck.
I
That's
know.
fucking far,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
land
it's like
that fucking
15 feet.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and if he comes up short, that means his knees are going right into
on
that
the
kid's
table.
gut.
Right.
No.
Oh.
Right into the, if he comes up short, if his knees are going to go right into your gut, dude.
well,
there's-
yeah, and that
He's
table.
got to be long no matter what. He
And the
can't be short on that. Or what are you going to do? Kick him in the face if you're really that short?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
face plant in the
Right.
fucking...
Exactly. You got to be long.
And if you're short, I don't know if that fucking stiff ass new table
I know.
breaks.
Well, that's why I said you'd be in trouble if you came up short, man.
Yeah.
Real, yeah. So
Yeah,
you
you're
got
kneeing him in the gut and wearing the table on your stomach and then a face plant.
And the guy laying on the table, whoever's laying on the table, it's your job too because you know he can't go short. He's got to go long. If he's a little bit hyped up, if he's going longer, you got to stick yourself up and catch him if you have to.
Yeah. And then Cena and Rhodes go back in the ring, and then Cena's got the title belt, and he clocks Cody with the belt. And then a masked man runs into the ring, and his hoodie kind of snuck up on his back a little bit. And I was like, it's a black guy. Who the heck is this making the
Yeah,
run?
it was screwed.
It didn't jump into my head that he was
I
going
didn't know it was a black guy right away.
Well, you could see it.
His back.
Some of his
Yeah.
back was out a little bit, and I was
And
like,
his ankles.
I was like, who's this? Who's a black guy running in right here? I'm trying to think to myself, who is this doing a running?
You
And then,
seriously didn't know who it was?
not right away until he took off the mask, and then I was like, oh shit, it's fucking Ron Killings, R-Truth. I was like, wow, all right, that's wild. The crowd just fucking popped huge for it, gigantic reaction, and then he left through the crowd,
Popped him with the belt.
popped him with the belt. Then Rhodes jumps up, hits the crossroads on Cena for the pin.
Oh, Cena takes that so bad.
Yeah, it
I mean, I don't know what the move's really supposed to do to you anyway.
Yeah, it's kinda
I
like
think
a
the finish
DDT.
kind of blows, but
It's over.
It seems like he protects him on it a little bit. He keeps him closer to his chest or something like that. I don't know.
It looks a little weird, but that was the finish. What a fucking huge reaction for R-Truth. We'll get to some of that after the match. We give a rating here, but overall for a match, this was just like nothing. But it wasn't bad, and it was super over. So I'm going to be generous and give it a 3. Ollie,
yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3. I mean, solid work. Like, really traditional tag match for the most part that we saw. I mean,
it was long though.
yeah, 24 minutes actually. So yeah, definitely a little long.
Didn't
I mean,
seem that long to me at all.
Yeah,
I
it
would have
felt
said
long.
15.
Definitely some good spots in the match. I mean, the Logan Paul moonsault's probably the best spot of the night. And I love the finish of R-Truth coming back and, getting the pop and fucking Cena over. So we'll see where it goes.
We'll see where it goes. Hack, what do you give it?
Oh, it's like an 11, easily.
like an 11.
The only reason it's not a 15 is because of interference. You know how I love clean finishes.
You're a clean finish guy. Yep. Ty?
I'm gonna go with a 2. I mean, it was fine.
It was an 11, easy.
Yeah, -9. But
Oh wait, I know, but you see, you can't. To me, you can't give it such a low mark if you've been saying for a year that you wish it was different than guys doing 87 spots to nowhere. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I gave it a
saying
3.
You by just giving it a moldy 2.
I've never once said I don't like 87
That was an homage to the way it used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to slow it down a little.
Yeah, which is fine. When
I mean, the heat was long,
and I
with
respect
Jimmy.
that.
The heat
I
was
think
real long.
I think it was a little too long.
There's almost 2 heat sections.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
And I didn't love. Yeah, and I didn't love the Paul and Cena.
The fake animosity between them towards the finish.
When they started that,
I didn't like that, and
But you
that took a little bit too long, and then they look over and they're like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah.
And you get,
You're right.
That was so hokey. I loved it though.
No.
When they do the look,
it's like,
so hokey. It's great.
It's pretty bad.
I know, but it's so. If they
It's
just
so
did
Three
jazz
Stooges.
hands like that.
Yeah.
Fucking Three Stooges. That's what I have.
with the Hogan point,
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, you gave it a 2. Overall for a show, though, before we give our final show,
Pretty underwhelming.
Yikes.
Ron Killings getting this comeback really is very interesting because we didn't have a chance to talk about his release.
And getting his own name.
His own
The
name
rights.
is so cool, Hack.
How do you get fired and then get brought back 48 hours later and you have the rights to your name now?
That's so
because they
genius.
call you.
Because they didn't feel like dealing with the chance for 6 months of hearing our truth.
It's like to change Mariah May's name because they want to own her name.
Right, but
Her name's that name though.
Monroe. She's
Well,
going to
no, her
slate
name is
Monroe.
Mariah. It's
Yeah,
Mariah May.
something.
And the last
Bird
name.
or something.
They could have just made him Mariah Monroe.
I don't like her new name, but with Ron Killings though, Hack.
See, but they can't make money off of that name because that's her name.
Yes.
Well,
You know
Mariah's her first name.
But that's her real name.
Right.
So they can't make money off of that because that's your real name. They can't own your name.
But our truth and Ron getting to come back
And then
like
he
this.
gets that deal.
What I'm so happy
Dude,
for
cutting
him.
off his hair was badass.
It was, and that his
It
new.
was badass.
Have you seen what
It
his hair
was
looks like
heavy.
now?
No,
He's got a really cool tight, shaved and all kinds of different patterns on his head. He looks badass with it, man. It really is a good look. And it's so funny because literally for 2 years you've been like, I wish they took this guy as a serious wrestler. I wish that they let him be a serious
Oh my
worker.
God.
Gimmick rehab.
Gimmick rehab.
I know, does this mean a push for Ron Killings?
It does.
I just called it Hack the Booker.
Yeah.
He's going to take it from Cena.
I think he is.
I think they're going to push him to the moon against to give it to him.
I think they are. I kind of think they are.
Oh yeah,
Dude, if Ron Killings gets
dude,
the
I'm
world
telling
title,
you, I
that'll be
have a
sick.
feeling that's where they're going to go.
Well, because think about it. It's organic. The crowd reacted, and the wrestling world reacted when he got fired and said, I can't believe you fired this guy. And the fans reacted in the buildings, and social media reacted, and the people in the company, and the workers, and everybody. And the fact that they gave him his name when he came back.
That's unbelievably
That's
huge.
leverage.
That's so unbelievable.
And it says to me, yeah, he's got something. He might be 52, but it's cool to see him finally be given the ball a little bit. And let's see what you can do and run with it.
Dude, he can talk. He's always been able to talk.
Oh.
Always, and that's... He probably is going to get over more than that than whatever he does in the ring.
Work too.
Right.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying he's going to get over more talking than for what he does in the ring.
Yeah, but I mean, it just...
It'll be perfect for a match against Cena. Do nothing.
Well, they already had the 5-minute version of it. You could do a 15 or 20 of that, I'm sure of it.
Yeah,
You
man, they're gonna shoot his ass to the moon.
But it's cool.
and it's by happenstance. They can
Organic.
luck into shit.
Right.
You luck into shit by firing the dude.
Yeah,
Yes.
he don't
and then
need
you
it
have
for...
to bring him back.
And he
Right.
don't need it for
And now
6
he's gonna
months.
be your next champion in 6 months.
Poor Carlito. Nobody cared.
So when's John's last match?
John's last match is in
December.
December in Boston.
Dude, that's plenty of time to get the train rolling on
Truth.
on the
Character
Truth. Yeah.
rehab. Character rehab.
Totally.
Truth wins it, and then same night Seth cashes it.
Perfect.
Yes, exactly.
So he's got the belt for 10 minutes
Right, but
or 5 minutes.
him winning the belt, though, I can just think about the crowd reaction if he actually wins the world title. The crowd would go absolutely nuts for
it
him.
would- dude, it would-
snatch it from him with freaking Rollins.
That's what I'm saying. It would be like, oh, boom.
I mean-
yeah, that would be unbelievable.
It would be very similar to Kofi, I think.
Yeah.
When Kofi won it.
Yes. I'm just thinking.
Fucking Ron beat Cena. Fucking Money in the Bank case to the head. Stomp. Fucking.
Give it a
done.
night or two to play out and then do it.
Nope.
But no, that
No,
night.
it's way better to just cut it.
Take it away in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But I love, though, like, it was WrestleMania last year when him and The Miz won the tag titles, and they got a giant reaction. And it's like, Truth, despite being portrayed as this joke comedy character, because his portrayal is he's such a good performer, the audience, even though he's never been pushed to that level really at all in WWE, they have still resonated with him over the years.
Wasn't he pushed as a tag at some point or something?
He was. Him and The Miz
Couple
were.
different times.
He was pushed decently to the top of the card a little bit at certain points,
but not Miz level.
no, never got like a
Okay.
run,
Right.
and never got like a real serious portrayal. And they, for 15 years he was a joke, and he's now being serious. And I think it's kind of
Well,
cool.
and he never even got like a United States run, an Intercontinental. Like, he never got any of that.
I don't think
No,
he
it was
did.
like what, the 24/7 championship
Yeah,
or
he was
something.
20
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if he
24/7.
wasn't at the top of the card, like, he never even got like a lower belt run.
No,
Like, nothing.
no. But and like, look, it's just kind of it's interesting, and I think the wrestling world is like, they took this negative and they're trying to turn it into something else. And it's like they said we made a mistake by firing him in the first place. So I think it just shows. And you've been saying this too, Hack. The new leadership at the TKO company, they don't care about your history. You're a number a little bit to them. Because you said this, they're going to do the same thing that they did with UFC. A lot of those UFC guys that you thought were lifers, the Chuck Liddells, the people that were under contracts there that, you're gone. It's what can you do for us now and stuff like that. Because I remember when they first merged, and Lawler's contract wasn't renewed, and he said, "Yep, this right here is going to be the
Got
pattern."
thin the herd, dude.
Yeah, that you
All that Vince shit, everything.
you said it to me, man. You completely called
Now,
it. So.
now, does what's his name still in the truck doing
Kevin Dunn is not there
Okay,
anymore.
So
No.
that could be the reason why it's different now too. It's Dunn wouldn't kill you with
camera cuts.
yeah, a million
he
of
would.
them.
He would.
Not a million. Like now, it's a joke.
It's worse now. But next week on the show, we are covering Hardcore Homecoming 2005. This was a live show from the
Where the fuck can we watch that?
That's on YouTube, guys. We can watch
Full
it.
shows on
Full
YouTube?
shows on YouTube. Yeah,
Homecoming, what?
One of my favorite posters ever
it's an awesome
for a
show.
wrestling show.
So Hardcore Homecoming was the show put on by Shane Douglas and Jeremy Borash the same weekend as ECW One Night Stand. It was two nights.
It was the Friday before, right?
It was the Friday before the show, and you worked Raven on the show. There was a lot of guys that were under contract to TNA that couldn't work the One Night Stand pay-per-view that worked this one. So it was like ECW had two kind of reunion shows that weekend. One was the WWE sponsored show, and one was this show put on by Jeremy Borash and Shane Douglas.
Who was at their show?
Everybody.
I think
the main
that's
event-
why I didn't go to the original One Night Stand, because I went to this show on Friday and I was like,
freaking
I don't need to go to another show, right?
Well, the main event. The main
I
event
already
was.
went to one.
The main event was.
What a traitor!
He had.
How am I a traitor? Because I
Oh,
didn't go
wait,
to the
you
show.
can't really. It's a EC dub.
I don't
went to
know.
a
He was
great
only
show.
7.
Yeah, I went to the show on Friday because I remember that show, and then you asked me. I remember you were literally walking out the door to go to the New York for ECW One Night Stand, and you're like, "You sure you don't want to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna stay here and watch it."
That's the
And
biggest-
now looking back
great.
on it, I wish that I went, but
Well, that's a big regret for you. I'm an even bigger loser because I was in New York that day, and I went to a Ring of Honor show that afternoon in New York, and we didn't go to the One Night Stand show. So that's
On
my-
purpose?
No, we just didn't get tickets, and then we decided not to. We didn't have tickets ahead of time, but I was like, that's my biggest wrestling regret ever, is not actually being in the building.
Yeah, it's a pretty big faux
That's
pas.
great.
Especially because I was in New York, too.
Yeah, it's not like you were like sitting on your couch back here, like,
What an idiot I was. As always, send in listener questions, too.
Yeah, it's like going to China and not walking on the wall. It is. I was just trying to find a reasonable fact.
I was going to say totally comparable.
As always, send in listener questions to sandmanpod@gmail.com.
Make that a drop.
Please leave a name and a town. Up first is Caleb from Colorado Springs writing in.
Caleb,
where,
how's
what?
Colorado treating you?
Caleb from Colorado Springs.
All right. That's beautiful out there.
I've been a huge fan since I was probably around 10 years old, and I just found out about your podcast. I'm currently blitzed and blitz as fuck.
Nice.
And the weed usually makes me ramble a bit, so I'm sorry in advance. I was 10 when I picked up a copy of the game SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 from a pawn shop, and this was my first introduction to the Sandman and ECW. Of course, later on I discovered One Night Stand and all the original ECW episodes and legendary matches you had. But you were my favorite character to play because of the entrance, the abilities, and also I love beating up my friends and cousins with the Singapore cane.
Hell yes.
One big thing that I always liked was that you just look like a regular, everyday dude. That may seem like a backhanded compliment, but you were so much more relatable than all those flashy bullshit
I was
gimmicks.
going to say it's part of it, yeah.
Not to be all sappy and shit, but growing up, the Sandman taught me that win or lose, just be yourself. No bullshit, no gimmicks. Drink a few beers, smoke a few joints, and you'll find the people who give a fuck about you. Anyway, I don't know if you'll read this, but I just want to say thank you for what you've done and continue to do, sharing your stories and perspectives. Long lives the Sandman.
What's the name?
Caleb.
Caleb in Colorado Springs?
Yes.
Oh, how old are you? That's what I want to know. No, next time when you write in, do I have to say all that?
No, I think he's Ollie's age. He said he was 10 in 2008.
Well, Caleb sounds like that.
Said he
You
was
know what
10,
I mean?
2008, yeah, right around
Yeah,
my
he's
age.
right.
Yeah. 26, 27 probably.
Yeah.
Thanks for writing in, man.
You guys
That was
think I'm
really
talking
cool.
to him
Yeah, keep
live?
writing.
No, but the way you just said, Caleb, like you're yelling out to him. How old are you? Like,
Where they're out there, Caleb?
Yeah.
Drop.
Mitch from Timmins, Ontario, Canada writes in.
All right, that's new.
Timmins, Ontario.
Hi, Sandman and Sand Boys. I know Sandman is a history buff, and that may extend to art history. Whenever Sandman sold in the aisles during a brawl, specific example, Stairway to Hell versus Sabu, he looks to be recreating the pose of the famous statue, the Dying Gaul. Maybe it's a coincidence, but that pose draws so much pathos, a term I'm positive Sandman is familiar with, that it's perfect for the moment. And moments getting the audience to feel a specific thing is what your craft is all about. Somatic responses. Thanks for everything, Sandcast.
Who is this guy?
This guy was Mitch from Timmins, Ontario. He's talking about.
Keep writing in, buddy.
He was.
I like
I
your
mean-
pathos.
Is he on to something there? Is that, I mean...
Oh, I'm not familiar with the piece of art that he's
He
talking
sent a picture
about.
of it. I'm going to have to share it with you guys.
Okay.
We'll put it up on
Okay.
social media
Well,
as
yeah,
well.
I didn't know if you knew anything.
I would have said it right now.
Yeah,
Well, right.
I was glancing it over. I was like, you know what I mean?
but yeah, that's. I mean, like your work was always like appealing for emotions out there as a wrestler, which is like pathos. So I mean, yeah, that's a really good call.
Well,
out.
especially with the kid and stuff. Dude, that was gripping shit with
Right.
Ty.
Well,
Yeah.
and because I don't know if you originally started doing the pose with the cane, but like was that like organic? Just just holding the cane up like straight over your head, right?
Yeah. Ed, I'm sorry, not Ed. Inbred Ed from Shitston, West Virginia writes in.
Wow, that's
Reading Joe Goodhart's book, and he has nothing but praise for you and JT Smith coming together with his shows. Underrated. I always thought, but other than some cons every now and then, JT Smith has been off the wrestling map for a while. Any good JT stories, and do you know what he's up to now?
Yeah, the best JT story is the one night we were training, and he was working on a flying headbutt for a finish. He gave me a flying headbutt, opened up my head. I had to go to the hospital and get like 10 stitches.
So it was a good finish.
I'm like, dude, it's not supposed to be real. Seriously, that's what I said to him.
Shouts out to JT
But
Smith.
then we went to Philadelphia, and we were like sitting in a room with like 20 other people. There's gunshot wounds and stuff. So I told his mom, I said, let's get out of here, and we went up to Bryn Mawr. And they saw me right away with a head injury.
Okay.
Philly, I could have been there all night in one of those emergency rooms.
Any idea what JT Smith's up to these days? When's the last time you saw him?
No, I've seen him, but no.
No.
He looks good.
Okay. Doug, the professor, the official historical expert of the Sandman podcast, writes in.
All right, we got a couple of history buffs now.
Love it.
competition.
To the entire Sand the Floor crew, quick fun.
Sand the Floor crew.
Quick-
We got to write all the names down,
Yeah, we
guys.
do.
We got to come up with a name.
Quick fact check from last week's show. Someone asked about what wrestler used to incorporate the term fruit booty in his interviews. It was, in fact, Stevie Ray. I asked him about it on an Instagram live session a few weeks back.
Stevie Ray. One of the worst
Because we were talking about the JBL
Yeah.
fucking
Fruit
one
booty.
night stand.
when he dropped the fruit booty on it.
What?
He said-
How do you guys know
Because
this?
I remember it was a great line.
We reviewed the show.
You were there.
We're not talking about Stevie Ray.
He is.
We're
though.
talking about where this came from.
Yeah.
Because on the last show we were reviewing, JBL said that in the interview on One Night Stand. Now who's the fruit booty? And we're like, where the fuck did he get that from?
What are you doing over at Joyce's?
He said, I asked,
Oh, was that the fact check, dude?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
he said, I asked him about it on an Instagram live session a few years back, and he said it was just something that he had a habit of saying. And one day, a guy from Turner Corporate came up to him and told him he couldn't say it on TV anymore. There was no discussion or explanation, so he just stopped. Stevie's great. He was laughing the entire time. He said, Hack, did you ever have any dealings with Stevie Ray?
I'm sure.
Okay, but nothing comes to mind.
Me and
Booker.
Booker were good, so yeah, I'm sure he was around.
He said, I guess Booker was the one destined for stardom, but I always thought he was good in the ring and great on the mic. He definitely was great on the mic, man.
But I don't know, was he even there like in 2008 when I was there?
You were there
Was
in
Stevie
99.
there?
You're not 2008. You were there.
Oh, that was WCW,
gonna
wrong
say,
company.
yeah.
Was Booker
Stevie
and
was
Stevie
there.
still in WCW? Was
They both
Stevie
were,
still
yeah,
there?
yeah.
I know Booker was.
Stevie was there too, yeah.
Okay.
And then he said, one more thing. I wanted to check myself on Apple Skull because it had been a long time since I had it, and it actually wasn't as bad as I remember it being. So, Ty, you get a little reprieve from Doug the Professor there.
All right. Thanks for that, Dougie.
Heart Attack Rick writes in. Wow,
Rick, hey.
this one.
How's your cardiogram?
This one's tough here. Okay, here we go. And this is LOL hack as you put it, or LOLC as you put it. Listener on listener crime. What's up to the Sand Potheads and the great Hackalicious? Not Hack Roadlicious like that fucking loser from Braintree stole from me said. Rick here again and a little heated.
A little heated too?
Get him, Rick.
This is all in caps, by the way, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
He means business.
he does.
Wow.
First things first, listen up, Brainy, you fucking Gen Z entitled fuckwad twat. Mine's 7.5 inches rock hard and curves slightly to the right for your information. Just ask your mother, seeing as I've been her jailhouse pocket bitch for years. You fucking fuck. Go find that, you fucking wrestling wannabe Jade, and cry in the corner with her, you fucking little bitch. Wow.
Get him,
Tell us
Rick.
how you really feel.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah, Ricky.
Okay.
All right, we get the point.
No more LOLC, guys. We want everybody to be friends here.
You can give a little crime, but God, not rape and pillage them.
Nick from Portsmouth, Virginia writes in.
Who?
Nick from Portsmouth, Virginia writes in.
Portsmouth.
Hey, Hackman, how extreme ECW was and how the Hardys worked. I thought the Hardys would have been a perfect fit for ECW brand. Would the Hardys have flourished in ECW, or is it just because of their wrestling style that makes me think they would?
No, they'd have done great.
They would have been
done
amazing.
great anywhere on the planet.
They would have, yeah, they would have just been
It
that.
doesn't matter where.
They were just so
They
good.
were going to be over.
And like, I think the Hardys would have fit in absolutely perfectly in ECW.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
Like, just I can't even think of. It might be a struggle to find two guys that might have been more ECW.
I don't know.
than them.
Right.
I don't know. Who's the one brother with the drug problem?
Well, they both had some issues, but
Oh, I didn't
Matt
know
and
that.
Jeff, yeah,
Yeah, but maybe he would have had it earlier if he was at ECW.
that's true.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
maybe it was good
Thanks
that
to
he wasn't
you.
with us. I would have dude.
Come here, kid. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let me show you how to work.
Step into my van.
Yeah. Alex in Massapequa, Pennsylvania writes in, "Hey Sandman and the losers," or as Hack says, give us a loser, Hack. Give us
You loser.
There you go. I remember hearing the ECW.
Another drop.
The ECW ring was stored somewhere in Long Island in the basement of a supermarket in maybe Lindenhurst.
Get the hell out of here. Like Taz's ring?
I don't know. That's what she's saying.
What ring did he say? The what?
The ring was stored somewhere in Long Island in the basement of a supermarket in Lindenhurst. Is that fact or whatever happened to that ring? Where is it now? Alex in Massapequa. Also, our town, Massapequa Park, got listed as one of the best towns to live in Long Island. The hometown of the Gigolo Beach serial killer. Wow.
All right.
So, Hack, do you have any idea about the
I
history
think
of
it
the
should
ring?
be on Expedition Unknown, that TV show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea about the ring of ECW? No. Yeah, of course not.
Damn.
Yeah. But
He
thanks.
doesn't even know where he's at right
Yeah. Thanks for writing it, Alex.
No, but that would be cool though.
It would
that
be
you
cool.
could say you had the ring.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You could set it up at any one of these things that we go to, and people would pay to get.
To picture in the ring.
Wait, maybe we just make a fake freaking
fake
ECW ring.
I had it in my yard all these years.
You guys got to put it up to get together
right,
and take it down.
Cut that tape. Cut
Yeah,
that
yeah,
tape.
yeah. We're
we
handling
don't
that.
have
Where's Roman with the ring?
Yeah, Roman. Shouts out to Roman.
Yeah.
Krusty from Melbourne, Australia writes in.
Krusty.
What's up?
Yo, there's some shit going on. I think there's some big fires going on in Australia. Oh no, a guy just shot a bunch of kids in a school.
Oh, jeez,
Sorry.
it's horrible. Well, I hope everybody's doing all right there. What's up, you bunch of hacks? I want to know who Hack has a dream celebrity sesh with, dead or alive. Anybody you want to smoke bud with, Hack, that you never had a chance to? Celebrities?
Willie Nelson?
Mike Schmidt?
Shakespeare.
Da Vinci?
Charles
Barkley?
Eventually? Okay.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay.
Or
Also,
Caligula.
oh, ew. Nasty. You freak.
He was so nasty,
He was a freak. He was the original freak-offs.
Oh, he used to have little kids blow him and then
Ew,
throw him
no.
off a cliff. And then he would literally, I swear, I'm telling you, that's what he would do.
I know.
He was the OG Diddy.
He would
Yes,
call
he
his
was the
little
original.
guppies. They would be in a little pool underneath water, and he'd be having the kids blow him, and then he would kill them all at the end of the night.
Yeah, we just,
That's some sick shit,
that's
dude.
disgusting.
Absolute power will absolutely corrupt you.
He said,
Sounds like it.
yeah. Also,
I don't know how I got on Caligula, but
does Hack have any tips to make a homemade cane? I'm going to try to make one to hang up in my
grow
house.
some bamboo.
Okay.
Dude, that's what's
Hey,
nasty
grows
though.
fast, too,
Yeah,
dude.
that's it's nasty though. If you grow it, you can hardly get rid of
I
it.
know. Yeah, but it makes a nice wall if you need it between your neighbors and stuff like that,
Dude,
dude.
you
It's
have to get a pet panda.
Dude, just think in 5 years you could probably make like 5,000 canes.
There you go. Start making canes,
Get
bud.
Mr. Miyagi here to start milling them in the backyard.
He also said, keep up the good shit, fellas. You make my boring ass 9 to 5 a lot more bearable, especially when you give your opinion on shows that have just happened because I can remember it. Awesome.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, brother.
I agree too that we should do more. Let's start covering AEW every minute of their 4-hour shows.
That's like 9,500 spots.
Yeah.
all 14 6-man tag matches.
Brian from Washington Heights in New York City writes in,
All right, Washington Heights.
I'm a new listener and I've been obsessively listening to every episode. I probably knock out a
Thanks,
couple
man.
episodes a week. Here's a question for y'all. Raven is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and
Nice.
I know we as wrestling fans can fantasy book. Despite Scotty getting heat partying with Shane during his WWF run, what if Raven went to WWF in '97 instead of WCW? I always thought how much more fitting he'd be in there. I feel like there could have been some great programs with The Undertaker, Mankind, Goldust, Austin, the time he was heating up, and Vader. Let me know your thoughts. Love the pod and keep up the good work.
He worked for WWF before he came to ECW.
He was WWF as Johnny Polo, the manager.
Yeah, but he was also the producer of that Saturday Stars whatever
Right.
show,
And he was
good friends with
Shane, which this writer
But he
mentioned.
wanted to be a wrestler and he didn't want to be Johnny Polo, so then he came to ECW. So I would have thought that there probably would have been an avenue for him to go back to WWF or whatever it was at that point.
He apparently didn't really, and WCW was the one who wanted to bring him in, and he ended up going to WCW in
Yeah, I
'97.
know he
but
signed
I don't know
250,
if that
350, 450. That was
I don't
his deal.
think he would have worked out in WWF as the Raven character. I think
Yeah, I agree.
WCW had a weird thing of like, if you were
It was Giants then too.
I know, but WCW in the undercard, like if you had freedom a lot of time to like do your own programs and do your own stuff, so he had some creative freedom, whereas WWF was always Vince, whatever Vince said, Vince direction. So like he got a lot of creative freedom on the undercard of WCW to do his flock stuff, sit in the front, pick out his group. You know, Saturn, Billy
but
Kidman.
he
and-
wasn't really calling anything. You know what they wanted him to do? Like he's there for like a month, where he comes and sits at ringside, and you got to hand him for sticking up for himself. He wanted because what's his name? Luger was racking everybody then. So he's out there for like a month, and they go, we want you to go in, and he's gonna rack. He's like, well, why would you build me up sitting out in the audience for a month to have me
get
go in
squashed
to get
immediately.
racked? And then somebody was like, yeah, you're right, we're not doing that.
Wow. All right, good for him, man.
Yeah, but he was a booker.
He could have been a real big star.
Yeah, he was smart. Dude.
He just never really,
smart.
and he had some demons too and everything, but like he never.
Yeah, I dropped him off of rehab.
he
I
never.
picked him up too, and then we went to Virginia
He never.
for the Sandman. It was a Sandman freaking festival down in Virginia Beach. Sandman Festival. That was the luck that we ran into.
Really?
Yep.
The comic book Sandman.
Or was it just the beach
No, it
thing?
was just it was a Sandman triathlon or something. That's what it was that
okay.
weekend.
Well, shouts out to Raven, man. I don't know if it would have
Had
worked.
some octopus.
I miss you, Dad.
Yeah.
some alligators.
It is Father's Day this
Some
weekend. So.
ostrich we had.
You
that
see him in
weekend.
August. It's all right.
Yeah. Write us in again, man. That was a really good question, Brian. And thank you for listening to all our shows, man. Glad to make your day a lot better. Next week on the show, Hardcore Homecoming 2005. But before we go, Hack, the can of the week or the toast of the week?
Oh, the toast of the week is easily Coco.
Go, baby.
Yeah, you
French
guys
Open
forgot
winner.
about it, didn't you?
Well, we were in Pittsburgh when we were watching.
Did you
her
watch
and,
the men's too on Sunday?
No.
Oh, my
doing?
We had
God.
softball.
Oh, we were playing softball.
It
yeah.
was. I'm not
The
the biggest.
comeback.
I'm not the biggest tennis guy, but that was as good of a sporting event as I've ever
No,
seen.
I heard it was good. Yeah, we,
was
we
absolutely
had
amazing.
softball. Unfortunately,
Sinner
we,
had him on match point 3 times and couldn't put him away, and then it went another 2.5 hours after that. Like it was. Just, I was.
Well, yeah, he came back from down 2 sets or whatever. Right?
Yeah. I was transfixed into that on Sunday morning. So that Coco. Shouts out to Coco.
And
Game of the week, who's ever booking those ladder matches like that?
Yeah.
For guys taking on 5 minutes here, 5
All
minutes
those
here.
WWE
It was
agents
just-
get to work.
Seriously, when you don't remember who's in the match, something's wrong.
I agree.
and like I said,
Something's wrong.
them the men doing the same corner code red spot. I forgot.
Oh, did we give it an overall rating?
No, but now
You want to go back to the Becky Lynch match?
Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyrie for the
You skipped that part.
Yeah, whatever. We'll catch you next week, guys.
Goddamn producers.
Peace.